Here in the donut bag, we tried to be entertaining, but also educational. And today's lesson is about DEF CON levels. Do you know when they say like we're at DEF CON 1 or DEF CON 3 or something like that?
Yeah.
Now, oh God, this is not right. Okay. So the lower the number, the worse it is. DEF CON 1 means nuclear war is imminent or has already begun. DEF CON 2 is next step to nuclear war. DEF CON 3 is increase in force readiness above that required for normal readiness. DEF CON 4 is increased intelligence watch and strengthened security measures. DEF CON 5 is lowest state of readiness. I bring this up because Steeler Nation is at DEF CON 1.
No question.
Battle stations, man your battle stations, seek shelter. Matt Canada is back. This is a worst case scenario. We must prepare for war.
Yeah. I thought that we'd be better prepared because a lot of us predicted if the second half of the schedule, if they had a winning record at the end of the season and the second half of the schedule was better than the first, he would be back. I mean, we all knew that. We all knew that. We had a pretty good feeling anyway, right? So the fact that when the news finally came down, it's like it just exploded. But we weren't properly prepared. We should have been more prepared, I think is what I'm trying to say, for the outcome, because we knew this was going to happen. They don't fire coordinators. The last coordinator they fired was Kevin Gilbride.
So
whatever, years ago.
The
we were foolish to think otherwise, I think.
Yeah, Charlie Batch, who played for the team, would know the organization pretty darn well. He has said that there's no way they're getting rid of Matt Canada for exactly the reason that you said, that they don't fire coordinators because, oh my God, we would have to pay Matt Canada's salary for him to not work, and then we'd have to pay another coordinator. Oh my God.
Right.
Hey, if that's the case, let's scrounge together some money for this poor Rooney family to pay the scrounge out that extra money for a coordinator.
Right.
My God.
I'm about to Google our Irish frugal.
What's that?
Our Irish frugal. Like, I'm about to Google that because you know what I mean? The Roonies are Irish.
Oh, are the Irish frugal? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. That can't be right. That can't be the reason. They can't say, you know what, he did a terrible job, but we're keeping him because we need to save that money. He can't be making that much money.
Well, that's the thing, though. I mean, I think a lot of people are saying right now, that the Steelers are the lowest paid staff in all the NFL. And it's probably more than likely true. I mean, they have a history of just, not paying coaches, and it results in coaches like Matt Canada and in coaches like Randy Fichtner. You know what I mean? Like that's what you get. You get what you pay for, and the Steelers are they're getting it right now. They're getting what
they're getting what they pay for. I hope they're not paying him a lot. My goodness. Yeah, I'm just a little tired of the excuses. The excuse 2 years ago was, well, he can't run his offense because he had Big Ben, and Big Ben is 1 foot in the grave, and oh my God, the offensive line, and blah blah blah. So he can't run his offense. And wait till he gets, a more mobile quarterback, and then he could run his offense. And then 2022 shows up, and he gets Mitch Trubisky, but then he also gets a rookie quarterback. And oh my God, you can't. They limited his offense because it's a rookie quarterback. So it's like, okay, what's the 2023 excuse?
Exactly. What is that going to be?
What's going to be the excuse now? It's like, what? Come on.
Right.
That's what they're saying is, well, it wasn't his fault. Tomlin told him to limit the offense because it's a rookie quarterback. And like, okay, well, what was the excuse when it was Mitch Trubisky? What was the excuse? Come on, that offense in the beginning of the year was worse than any I've ever seen, and easily worse than the league.
It made my eyes bleed to watch the Steelers through like the first 4 weeks. It was awful.
Yeah. So
A little bit more exciting in the second half, but not a whole lot. I mean, they never had a game where Kenny Pickett scored more than one touchdown. He had like 6 games where Kenny Pickett did not throw a single touchdown. 6 games.
yeah,
That's not going to cut it in the division. That's not going to cut it in the conference. That's not going to cut it anywhere. They need, I mean, there's a lot of things that need to happen between now and, September, whatever, 10th. You know what I mean?
Scoring 17 and hoping the other team scores 16 is a really risky and bad organizational philosophy.
Yeah, and that's the kind of the approach that they took this year. And gosh, it's like you can't be conservative anymore. You can't play like that anymore in the modern NFL. It's just
exactly.
I mean, look at the scores this weekend. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're playoff teams, totally different scenarios.
Still,
it's like if you wanna be competitive with the big dogs, you got to put up more than 30 points a game. Sometimes, 24 I think was their average, per game in the second half of the season. But it's like, gosh, golly gee, Willikers,
you wanted to swear right there. You really. Yeah, and it's just so frustrating. You just look at some of those scores. They scored 14 against the Patriots and gave up 17. That could have been a win. They scored 20 against the Jets. Oh my God.
Right.
Oh gee. They scored a whopping 20 against the Tampa and won that 20-18. They lost to the Dolphins 16-10. It's like, okay, Kenny was a rookie. Kenny was he was learning. Okay, fine. But next year, enough of this. We have to limit the offense because of the rookie quarterback. You don't have a rookie quarterback. You're going to expect more things. So let's go.
Right. Yeah. They didn't blow out any opponents. They didn't scare any opponents offensively, and they need to be able to do that going forward. And we don't see it as being possible under Matt Canada. And it's like, oh geez, what are we gonna do?
It is what it is.
Exactly. It is what it is.
It is what it is. We just got to live with it.
Right.
And, but I mean, there's still so many bright spots. Kenny Pickett looked like he's going to be the guy, which is great. George Pickens looked amazing in his rookie year. That's awesome. Najee looked amazing. The offensive line improved. So that's great. So we'll see. Now we're in the off season.
Right.
Although I would have loved to have seen the Steelers against the Bills. That would have been really interesting.
Yeah. I mean, especially considering how the Bills played. You know what I mean? You kind of wonder, maybe. I mean, probably not. But it just they didn't play as lights out as I expected them to play, I guess.
The Bills are they're just a little they're erratic. They're I thought they were like the Super Bowl favorite. And now
in the first half of the season,
and now I don't know. Josh Allen is just all over the place. I think I just think that could have been a really, and you say, well, they blew him out earlier in the season. That was without TJ Watt, and that was with Kenny Pickett's second game ever or something like that.
First start ever.
Yeah. So I think that could have been really, really interesting, but oh well.
Exactly.
But yeah. So now we head into the off season, and who are they going to lose is the first question. We know Devin Bush is getting the hell out of there. Thank
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah, that's not really a loss, is it?
No.
Technically, you're losing him, but is it really a loss? No.
I mean, it just stinks because he goes down as one of the biggest draft busts.
Yeah.
First of all, when you trade up to the 10th
Right.
spot,
Yeah.
and then it doesn't work out,
Mm.
that's really bad. So I'm looking at the free agents. Larry Ogunjobi, I don't know if they're going to be able to keep him.
I'd like if they
I'd
could.
like to,
I mean, he wasn't
but
phenomenal by any means, but he was pretty damn good.
I think he really helped with the run defense.
Yeah, definitely.
And they're saying his market value is only 3.4 million. That can't be right. That can't be right. He was making 8 million this year, and he had like before that he had like a contract where he was making like 13 million a year.
Right, yeah, but I think maybe because of his injuries and maybe he's getting, how old is he? Isn't he kind of older or no?
He's only 28.
28, okay. I thought he was like 30 or whatever. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. His market value, is it 1 year, 3 million, or is it multiple years?
What's that?
You said his market value, is it just 1 year or is it multiple years?
They just have it as like average annual salary 3.4.
Oh, okay.
So
if
they could get him,
they could be thinking of it like a prove it deal. Like maybe he's going to be on a prove it deal. You know
right,
I mean?
right.
That's usually where when the salaries are around 3 million, that's usually what it is.
Yeah. Mason Rudolph, he's gone.
Right. Yeah. He was gone already.
He was.
You know what I mean? Mentally, probably.
Poor guy. Was didn't even dress. Like I think some of those weeks where Kenny Pickett was out with a concussion.
Yeah.
He actually got to dress in a uniform. So,
right. He's like, what? How do I put this shoulder pad? How do I put these shoulder pads on?
What is this? Yeah. That's going to be really. Another question is what's going to happen with Mitch Trubisky?
Right.
Is he going to stick around? I can't see him sticking around. I know he's still under contract, but
right.
I can't see him. I mean, that did not end well. That whole thing with the Steelers just seemed like, I think as soon as they drafted Kenny Pickett, he's like, okay, I'm out of here. I'm just wanting to be here for just a 1 year, just to play a little bit and then go. So
it would be interesting to know, if he was told, if he was because there was rumors that Mitch Trubisky was told that they weren't going to be, he's going to be the quarterback. You know what I mean? They weren't going to be drafting, a quarterback. You know what I mean? And then they drafted a quarterback, and then of course he ended up starting. And it's like, so apparently, what they're rumored to have told Mitch Trubisky is the total exact opposite of what actually happened, if that's true. So yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like he's been slighted, and he deserves to go somewhere. But where is he gonna? He's gonna be in the same situation with another team that he is in Pittsburgh. So my inclination is, why didn't he just stay? You know what I mean? Like, why didn't he just tough it out for the one more year rather than go somewhere else and be a backup there? That's just
a year ago he was one of the better free agent quarterbacks. He signed on day one. As soon as free agency hit, boom, he signed with the Steelers. He says he regrets that. It's like, you know what, Mitch, we regret it too.
Yeah.
But this year, who's gonna want him as the starter? His best case scenario is he hooks up with the team as a backup, and somebody gets hurt.
Right.
That's it. Yeah. That's your only shot, bro.
He has a better chance, like, knock on wood. I just mean, Kenny Pickett and his concussion, scary stuff there. You know what I'm saying? So he has a better chance, maybe, of playing a couple of games in Pittsburgh. If the concussion thing were to kind of, I don't want it to. I'm just saying, as a backup.
I agree. He knows exactly what he's getting here.
Right. Yeah.
If we say, hey, you're Kenny's backup, that's it. Like, like, yeah, there's a chance Kenny's going to get hurt. There's a chance that Mitch is going to get to play. I don't know. I mean, unfortunately, this year was his big resume, his job interview, and he failed.
He failed, but also the Steelers took it away. I mean, he could have maybe progressed. You know what I mean? Like maybe he would have gotten better had he kept starting. You know, so also, you know, even though he wasn't very good in the time that he did start, I don't think he got a really fair chance to really show what he could potentially do. Not to say that he would have been great or anything, but you know,
he was so bad in the beginning, though. So bad. And why was he so bad, though? He was so bad because the offensive line was so bad.
Right. Yeah. He was running for his life.
No offense is going to do well with that offensive line.
Right.
So, you know, he was kind of doomed. You know, did they pull him a little early? Yeah. But they were going to pull him in at some point anyway. You know, they were going to pull him. They weren't going to let Kenny sit out the entire year.
Right.
You know, at some point they were going to let Kenny play. So, you know, he was going to get the raw deal anyway. It was basically as soon as that draft happened, he got screwed.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure the Steelers thought, well, yeah, we want to draft our franchise quarterback. There's no way Kenny Pickett's going to be available. There's no way some team would be stupid enough not to draft Kenny a quarter like the Panthers. You would think the Panthers would actually want him. No.
Right.
You know, there were some teams that desperately needed a quarterback for some reason, didn't take him. So, and it was like, it was like a Hallmark movie. It was like a rom-com. It's like, oh, it turns out the love of my life was right there all along. So, you know, cool.
It's true.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. Most likely Trubisky does not stick around, and then you got to get 2 more quarterbacks. Then you need some kind of veteran backup, and then probably draft someone, because at this point you need at least 3 quarterbacks on your roster. So
because they drafted Chris Olodokun, and you know, at the time that they did that, you know, Dwayne Haskins. I mean, they had a good situation before the season began, and then all of a sudden it just kind of deteriorated. You know, they somebody ended up poaching Chris Olodokun from the practice squad. I don't think the Steelers released him. Maybe they did, but either way, it's, you know, they're going to be in a sticky situation, especially if Mitch doesn't come back.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, bringing in a veteran presence could be really good for Pickett as well,
I think now bringing in a veteran, we're not fooling the guy. Well, I mean, we're not deceiving the guy.
Yeah.
You know, we're not telling them, oh, you're the guy or something. It's like, no, we all know it's like you are the backup to Kenny. Good luck. So we'll see.
Maybe it'll be Joe Flacco.
Why not?
I'm laughing, but yeah, you're right. Why not?
Why not? I mean, I mean, there are several turtles that are over 120 years old that are faster than Joe Flacco, but still, why not?
Right? Yeah, I mean, you know, the whole, you know, why not? Why not bring back Matt Canada? Why not sign Joe Flacco?
Sure.
Kind of a why not kind of thing, right?
Sure. Why not? Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. Then Cam Sutton, I believe, is also a
yes, he is.
They need to get him. They need to keep him. And best case scenario, he's your slot guy or something, not a starter, but he's I think he's a valuable piece. His market value is listed as $7.6 million a year, and that's fair. That's fair.
Right.
I'd keep him at that. Yeah. And then it's Terrell Edmonds. That's another one.
Yeah.
I I could, you know,
Yeah.
at a good price, I could keep him. His market value is 5.4 million a year.
Right.
It's a little high. But if he could convince his brother,
He did already say, he made a joke about it, I guess, that,
package deal,
yeah, package deal.
buy
It's
one,
like,
buy one, get one free, buy
right,
one
yeah,
Edmonds, get one free.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would be something, oh man, could you imagine Jermaine in there? Like, ooh, did you watch him this weekend? Like, wow.
Yeah,
He's
he
good.
knocked somebody into the phantom zone or something, or
Right,
the
yeah.
shadow realm, or however they said. He knocked
Uh-huh.
the heck out of someone. So
Right.
yeah, and then you got to figure out what is going to happen in the draft.
Right.
Who are they? It's draft season, and now it's going to be really fun because they basically have three picks in the top 50.
Right. Yeah. And 4 in the top 80.
Yeah.
It's really something, that's going to be interesting to watch, like you said. But you wonder now. It's like 4 weeks ago, everybody was talking about, oh, we need, the lineman. You need to draft a left tackle with our first pick, like no question. And now some people are like, what? You know what I mean? And the Steelers are probably thinking the same thing. Like, hey, if we can just, as anti-offensive lineman drafting they have been in forever, they may just look at the line and say, hey, you know what? It's okay. Like it got us through that second. They improved. It got us through the second half of the season. I don't think Kenny wasn't sacked a whole lot, in that second half. So, they're probably going to look at it like, hey, let's go with maybe secondary. Let's go, defensive somewhere in the defense, which would be totally fine. But it's just everybody was really clamoring for that offensive lineman, and now I'm not so sure that that's going to happen with the first.
Yeah, exactly. We were just talking about how horrible the offensive line was at the beginning of the year, but they got better.
They did, yeah.
And I think I saw something that said like they ended up like the 10th best offensive line in the league or something like that. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I owe who's the offensive line coach?
Pat
Meyer.
Yeah.
I owe him an apology. A lot of people do.
Mm-hmm.
I trashed the heck out of him in the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But Najee Harris, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I called you fat. I'm sorry. I was, I just didn't think gaining weight was a good idea, but and that's the other thing. He looked horrible before the bye. It was like two different people. He looked horrible before the bye. After the bye, he looked amazing.
Right.
A lot of that had to do with obviously the injury. But he looked he looked good.
Yeah, it seemed like he lacked vision even when he was injured. And it's like, what does that have to do with the foot? You know what I mean? Like, what, how does seeing holes do with, how does that correlate? So, but you're right. In the second half of the season, it was like he was seeing things he wasn't seeing in the first half of the season. So it's just interesting.
It had to be a talk someone had with him, because I mean, look at it. His rookie season, he had like the worst offensive line in the history of civilization last year. Yeah. So, he had no holes ever. And he had to dance just to get 1 yard or something like that. And he started that way this season, but then the offensive line got a little bit better, and he was still doing that. He was still doing that because he didn't trust the line.
Right.
And somebody told him, or he figured out, or whatever. It's like, you're doing this wrong. Stop dancing. And it did help that the holes actually got there because the offensive line got better. But it seemed like a whole different change in philosophy between just a whole different approach between dancing, and then going straight ahead. And it just seemed like not only did he just go straight ahead, he wanted to hurt someone.
Yeah. Did you see me put Myles Garrett down? He laid him down.
Oh, he did? I did not see that.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, like that's Myles Garrett. You know what I mean? Like that's anything.
Hall of Famer Myles Garrett. My goodness.
Right. now if the same person who told Naj not to dance could tell Deontay Johnson not to run backward, you know what? We'd be okay.
Or drop it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I will say people are this season, like he didn't have as many drops as people like made it out.
It just felt like it. It
It
just
did, exactly. It did feel like
unfortunately he dropped it at like the worst possible times.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got a little. I mean, he didn't have that many fumbles either, but the fumbles he had is like, ooh, the worst possible times.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
You know, and that's it's like, well, are they gonna get another wide receiver? Are they gonna draft Jordan Addison? Come on, people. Come on, people. You're gonna hear this a million times. It's like, well, he was friends with Kenny Pickett in college. So you know who else was friends? Mason Rudolph and James Washington.
They were.
How well did that work?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's and you know, Addison also isn't because they want to compare Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. You know what I mean with a Pickett Addison thing, but Addison isn't Jamar Chase.
Bro, exactly, bro. You are not Jamar Chase, bro. You're just not. I don't know what Jordan Addison compares to. I mean, yes, that when Kenny Pickett and Jordan Addison played together, they made magic. It was beautiful. But you know who else made magic? Kenny Pickett and George Pickens.
Yes. So, yeah, and they ended up signing Anthony Miller to a 1-year contract. Not that like we can say anything because he hasn't been healthy since he basically came to Pittsburgh, but you know, that's a cool thing. And they'll probably end up bringing Steven Sims a free agent. Not sure.
Is Sims a free agent?
What's up?
I don't think so. I'm not seeing him on this list.
Okay. Yeah, I mean they're okay. In terms of depth, they don't really need you know, they don't really need a receiver. You know what I mean? But
they really don't.
Well, somewhere that's what they do.
The other thing is they kind of have already have a drafted wide receiver that Calvin Austin
that's right
didn't even play.
About him.
Yeah, so he maybe could be your slot receiver. I don't know. That'd be cool. Yeah, but I mean, I think the biggest need is inside linebacker. My goodness. I mean,
Miles Jack, who knows? Like, I think Jack is not a free agent, but there's talk that he might not stay.
Jack is not a free agent, but he is like his contract is a little his contract is his cap hit is 11.2 million.
Right.
Looks like so you know,
and he can't really restructure because he only has that 1 year left, right?
Yeah, so if you drop him, that's a 3.2 million cap hit. But still, so either you restructure him or let him go or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, inside linebacker is a huge hole. Yeah,
that's why Evans would be nice, you know, but it's like Buffalo or Pittsburgh. Like, would you know what I mean? Like, wouldn't you rather stay in Buffalo? You know what I mean? Where you actually have like immediate Super Bowl contention. You know what I mean? Not that, but I mean, Buffalo may not want to keep him, but I can't see why they wouldn't.
It's all about money. It's all about dollar bills.
I don't know what the Bills cap space is like, but maybe they're up against it.
You know, yeah, that's the thing because I think the Bills have to start paying Josh Allen a huge contract, so they're not going to have as much money. They're not going to be able to afford him. You know, you keep hearing players say nice things about Mike Tomlin. It's like, oh, he's such a great coach. I would love to play for him. Oh, he's such a great coach. Oh, he's a player's coach. I would love to play for him. I was like, well, then why don't you come to the Steelers? Yeah, well, that other team offered me more money. So
yeah, exactly.
I'm going with the money.
Money talks. Blocks.
Yeah, you know, you could say, you want to play with your brother?
Right.
If I get enough money, I could go fly and go see him anytime I want, man.
Right. We could play Legos or G.I. Joes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
We could get together on Christmas. Yeah. So So we'll see. Yeah, I mean, already they're doing, mock drafts, and I think that I've seen a cornerback from Illinois, but there's all kinds of um there's like right around that time there's a linebacker available. I think there's an offensive lineman. Jordan Addison is available at 17.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
mean, it's still real early, so who knows what's
Oh
going to
yeah.
happen.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
pro day. I mean, there's so many things. The combine that could send these guys down the board even more.
Cause cornerback is a real big need too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a
They need a shutdown corner. There's
yeah.
no question because I mean they allowed a lot of passing, yeah, a lot of yards to receivers. So can't be doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I'm just I'm I'm just excited about these playoffs. I'm just excited to see. I mean, what the Bengals and Buffalo are gonna do.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's as a foregone conclusion that the Chiefs are going to beat Jaguars, but you never know. Maybe
Right.
the
No.
Jaguars will ball out or something like
Yeah,
that.
because I mean, look, I turned that game off. I think probably 90% of the country turned off the Jaguars Chargers game.
All you heard was, "Oh my God, blowout! The Chargers are blowing them
Right.
out." It's like, yeah, why
Yeah.
bother watching this? And just
Yeah.
I had it in the background. It's like, oh, Jaguars are kind of coming back. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And then, oh my
Well,
goodness,
I mean, you never know. They could end up doing the same thing against the Chiefs.
the only thing I know is the Chargers coach is an idiot and
Oh
should have
yeah.
been fired.
Right.
He is a big time idiot. But anyway, yeah. So and you know what, the Bills have problems, but the Bengals have problems too.
Everybody.
Basically, they lost their entire offensive line, so Joe Burrow has been going back to running for his life.
Right. Yeah.
Great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that's going to be such a good game.
Yeah.
Bengals against Bills. Ooh, ooh.
And so much emotion and drama, DeMar Hamlin, that whole thing.
Most likely he'll be there.
Right.
He'll probably give T. Higgins a big hug, which will
Right.
be
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Very emotional.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then it doesn't matter. It all doesn't matter because Brock Purdy is the second coming and the greatest quarterback that the Tom Brady 2.0, and he's just going
Right.
to destroy the league. And we're all just everything else is just second place to Brock Purdy.
Right. Yeah. And everybody's saying, "Oh, Brock Purdy, you get him with the last pick, and you spent your first overall pick on Kenny Pickett." What are you thinking? And it's like, man, you know what? Come on.
Listen, I don't know how far you could throw it, but you or
Yeah.
I could be the quarterback of the 49ers
Right,
and do
exactly.
just fine.
Yes.
The guy has all the time in the world to throw it. He has
Right.
all-stars at almost every offensive position.
Yeah.
Anybody can do well with that. Come on.
Right. Yeah. No question. Yeah. If Pickett had been drafted in San Francisco and it started, he would be a lock for offensive rookie.
Oh yeah. Oh
He
yeah.
doesn't move around it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I think the whole I mean, the 49ers look amazing, and I think that's going to be if they end up playing the Eagles, that's going to be a really interesting game because the Eagles seem like the team of destiny. But I just think at some point having a 7th round rookie, the last pick in the draft, is maybe not the best thing to do for your team for your team to advance to the Super Bowl. I don't know. At some point, that's going to hurt them.
Right, that's true. No, I agree. But what a story it would be. You know what I mean? Like if they had not only went to the Super Bowl, but they ended up winning with Mr. Irrelevant. Like how Roger Goodell would be just, beyond, beside himself. He would just
if the 49ers end up in the Super Bowl, that's all you're gonna hear about. Oh my goodness. All you're gonna hear about is Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
probably gonna have Brock Purdy commercials or something like that.
Right. Yeah. Almost as bad as like when somebody in division wins the Super Bowl and we have to hear about them all off season.
Uh-huh. Great. See, the thing
Right.
is, it's hard to hate Joe Burrow. He
Right. It
looks
is.
like he looks like the kid from Home Alone.
Macaulay
He's such,
Culkin, he does.
such a cute little boy, and he seems like a good dude. Yeah, you just want to
Right.
pin his cheeks like, look at what a cute little, look at you, little cute little boy. Yeah, I just can't hate the guy.
Oh,
But
I do. I
I
can't,
do.
but I
I still,
a little bit. This is good.
I would have. Oh, I also think. See, that's the thing. Like, Detroit was playing really well. That would have been really fun if they made the playoffs. The
Mhm,
Steelers were playing pretty well. That would have been really interesting if they made the playoffs. It
mhm.
just it's all Gunnar Olszewski's fault.
It is. Got it.
That's it. He
Got
gave
it.
away that Patriots game. He gave away
Right.
the Patriots game, and he used to be a Patriot.
Right.
Hmm.
Perhaps he's a patriot.
You know what? Couldn't help it.
Right.
Bill Belichick implants chips
Yeah.
into all the players, and he just activated. He just hit the button.
Activated the muff up punt.
Yeah, muff punt, activate muff punt.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Boom.
Right.
That's it.
Yep. Somewhere Bill Belichick was, he's on the sideline doing his little puppet thing.
It would
Right.
not surprise me.
Nope. Me neither.
All right, so yeah, it's gonna be this is my favorite weekend of, because usually the wild card games kind of suck. This year they were really good.
Yeah, they were really good.
But this, but now it's like all the crappy teams are gone. Now it's like the really good playoff team. So this is my favorite weekend of playoff football. So that should be exciting. But
right, no doubt.
Please remain in shelter. We are under Matt Canada lockdown.
I don't know when we're going to be able to come out.
I don't know. We need a light. We need a hope. We need a leader of the resistance. I don't know who that's going to be.
Yeah. ESPN predicted they're going to bring in some kind of special assistant. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
but,
that's a good idea.
I mean, they might. And what could be interesting is that if they do that, and Canada's sort of like, it could be a situation where, Canada came in as the quarterback's coach.
Yeah.
And then Fichtner, they sent Fichtner on his way. They promoted Canada. So if they bring in some kind of special assistant and they send Canada away, they'd still be promoting from within if they promoted the special assistant, which, this is all hypothetical. But
I don't know what's going on with Byron Leftwich in Tampa. I guess maybe he's fired, maybe he's not fired. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah. But that would be perfect because he used to be a Steeler.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And yeah.
But it's concerning because they played horribly against Dallas. So it's like, you know what I mean? And Tom Brady had one of his worst years offensively. I guess he's expected to be fired.
Yeah, that's a mess. I mean, we need to remember Tom Brady's like 100 years old.
Yeah, I mean, he is, but just that year he was 99 years old, but he was still doing a lot better than he was.
Yeah, but I don't think his heart was in it. Now that doesn't excuse the whole team, but the quarterback is like the brains of the offense. So if the head of your offense is not there, that's not a good.
No.
That's not good for the rest of the team and the rest of the offense. I mean, he took 2 weeks off in the middle of the middle of training camp.
Yeah, to film a movie.
To film a movie? Oh my God, is that movie with
Yeah. So after that's what I thought. So after I saw the previews for that, I was like, maybe that's why he was out.
Whoa.
He wasn't Masked Singer, or maybe it didn't have anything to do. I mean, who knows?
Oh goodness.
Lame, oh my God.
Poor Tom Brady lost all that money with the crypto stuff. I don't.
Yeah,
okay. Did. We need to. Yeah, he lost that. Oh yeah, I think that's the real reason he went down there, because he invested a lot in that. I think that's why he also got divorced with Giselle. He lost a lot of money. That's why I think he's going to play next year. He's probably going to play for the Raiders or something like that, because he lost so much money with that crap. And yeah, so yeah, well, But yeah, so we need to get a GoFundMe for Tom Brady, and we need
Right.
it for the Roonies, because
Yes, yeah,
the
there's
Rooney
critical irony.
coordinator fund.
Right, yes. We should do that. We'll get that out right after I get off this video. I'll start
Start a
some.
GoFundMe
Yeah.
for these charitable causes. Yes.
Yes. We'll see what we can do there, right?
Yes. Yes. All right. Hey, thanks for coming on, Leanne. We miss you.
Yes. We miss you, Leanne. Good luck
This
with
is
all
now
those big goods.
2 times in a row she's missed. I have to write her up.
She's brushing us
Sorry.
off. She's way
Sorry.
too
I've
popular for us now.
Yeah, I might have to fire her. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
No, we miss you.
We do.
We can't wait to talk to you again. So,
Right. Yep.
all right. Hey,
Cool.
thanks so much.
Yep. See you.
We'll see you.